And good morning. Welcome to the program. Today at the races, presented by Fidelity First here at Laurel Park, along with our odds maker, Keith Fusel. I'm Stanton Salter. Glad you're with us. The sun is out on a nice, little cool Sunday morning, but that sun's out. We have some nice carryovers. Let's talk about yesterday real quick. Big day for us here at Laurel Park. Handle just a little shy of $3 million. That's up over 800,000 from last year, up over $1 million from 2 years ago. So a big day for the whole country, but a big day right here at Laurel Park yesterday.
Yeah, we did. It was good. So a nice little crowd out here. 440,000. One of the later races in the card was generated in Handle. So another couple close to 400,000. So yeah, the eyes were on Gulfstream, but hey, we had plenty of eyes and people unloading some money on this product that we had here yesterday. So yeah, great day all around, and what a performance by Arrogate and the Pegasus.
Yeah, and speaking of Gulfstream, our sister track, we were all excited. We had a big crowd here hanging around after our last race watching it, and wasn't the day for California Chrome, but Arrogate with the stealing the show, and while he went off the favorite, no surprise there. He was what, the 4-5, 3-5 favorite.
Down the favoritism, yeah. Earlier in the day they were kind of co-favorites, both at even money, but the later money came in on Arrogate. Yes.
And he won for fun. I mean, really stamped himself as the top horse in the world right now, and we got to see a big time show down there at Gulfstream. Hats off to everybody down there at Gulfstream Park for putting on what is now the world's new richest horse race, and they did a phenomenal job. The broadcast on NBC looked great, and the broadcast on the Gulfstream Park signal looked great as well. So hats off to our colleague Gabby Gaudette down there with Ron Nicoletti and Acacia Courtney, Dave Joseph, Phil and Ed. The whole team down there did a great job putting on the Pegasus World Cup.
They did their homework. They were tied on. I got a chance in between races to watch a little bit. Didn't watch as much as everybody else, but what I saw was pretty much spot on, no doubt.
So congratulations to Arrogate. California Chrome, he made over $15 million. He's going to have a phenomenal career at stud. He's going to stud right. I heard maybe today he's going to be showing up in Kentucky at TaylorMade. The Shermans, they'll get stallion seasons to him, so it's a win-win still for everybody involved with California Chrome.
Just hate to see him. You know, to me, he just didn't look right in the paddock yesterday when I kind of glanced. I've had a chance to see him up close and in quite a few races in person, and yeah, just unfortunate for him to go out. That was his final race, but yeah, you know, even if he ran his best, I don't know. You can't take it away from Arrogate what he did. I mean, it brought back memories horses like Bernardini. Some of the performances you see, some of these just pure athletes, you see the talent they exude, and let's hope he stays around and we can watch him for another year or so. We'll see.
Just talking to Dave Rodman before the show, Arrogate, Rodman kind of thinks Arrogate looks like one of the throwback horses from back in the old days, before the 50s, back when you had those real lean, narrow type athletic looking race horses, and that's kind of how Arrogate looks.
No, good assessment of that, and he has that that combination of tactical speed, stamina, and we see horses run off and win by 8 and 10 lengths, but they do it. He does it pretty much effortlessly. Yep. I was thinking like great athletes that you've seen in the past to compare. I like a Bo Jackson and stuff like that. Guys, Michael Jordan, guys that are just at a different level when they perform. Some guys can win, but the way they do it is just a step above.
Bafford's had some nice horses. Point Given, of course, Triple Crown winner, American Pharoah. Arrogate, he might be the best horse Bafford's had yet. So
he certainly might be.
Pretty cool to think. So we had a few jockeys, had a big day yesterday here at Laurel Park as well. Fergal Lynch, he won on a 2-5 shot early in the card on a good-looking horse from the Grand Motion Barn, Sound the Horns, and then he backed that up with winning on a 25-1 shot. So a big day for jockey Fergal Lynch with 2 wins. Julian Pimentel with 2 wins, and also Jevion Toledo taking a late double, put him to sleep in the allowance feature yesterday on Lanier, who looked great in the paddock and got some slow early fractions out there in the 2-3 path down the back stretch, and just won going away. The favorite, I'm Mr. Blue, my best bet of the day, came from way back with a little bit of a wide trip. A good effort from I'm Mr. Blue, but nobody was beating Lanier yesterday.
I thought there would be a little bit more contentious pace up top. It was not. Lanier just pretty much dictated from the 5/8 pole home. I mean, he just expanded the margin every step of the way. A big bounce back effort after that dismal performance. It kind of a quirky track that day when he failed I think he was like 7-5 that day. But stretched back out, showed he can. He's a versatile horse. He's won on the turf. He's won short, won long. Yeah, so he might, next step, 2 other than, he'll be tough.
How about your cousin won a race yesterday?
Yeah,
Joan
cousin
Reynolds
Joan,
won in a
yeah.
race with crazy Bernice Horacio Caramano. So good to see your cousin out here. Her husband, Farmer Tom, he was
Yeah.
out here. He had a third yesterday. And talking to Tom Reynolds yesterday, the husband of Joan Reynolds. Joan won with crazy Bernice yesterday. But Joan and Tom's daughter, Paige Reynolds, is a world, like one of the top barrel racers in the country. We saw her grow up here in Maryland, and talking to Tom, she's traveling all over the countryside. Has a real nice barrel racer and one of the top barrel racers in the country. So pretty cool there with the Fustel family and the Reynolds family.
She's been tied on a long time as Paige, and Jacob, the brother, he kind of lays a little bit in the shadow. He's a hard worker, doing well, but the whole family, they put in a lot of time and effort in everything they do, and to reap some rewards is very good. So yeah, Paige, she's got a really bright future ahead of her.
All right, well, the kitchen is getting Sunday brunch ready for you today, so come on out here. $22 for the adults, $11 for the kids. Under 12, under 6, eat free. Our Sunday brunch here at Laurel Park. You can get it in the Garden Terrace, Tips, Tycoons. The sports bar, that'll be open today with all the college basketball action and simulcast feeds from around the country. Premier Player Late Pick 4. You hit the Late Pick 4 today, and all you Premier players will get an extra 2,000 bonus points in your account. So lots going on here. Let's tell you what's going on a week from today. That's going to be the touchdown at Laurel Park for the big game with the Jailbreak Brewing Company. It's going to be on the second floor clubhouse at that new sports bar beginning at 4 p.m. Game day buffet, $15. We'll have raffle tickets, beer specials, jailbreak giveaways. Come on out here, watch the big game. We'll be open until after the last race and for the whole game next Sunday night. Come on out here and enjoy it here at Laurel Park.
If I hang for that, I might need Uber to take me back home.
I'll drive you home. I'm trying
that'd be good. That'd be the blind leading the blind down the street, huh? No.
No, that's I'm trying to get all my friends out here. I'm their designated driver for the whole year this year. So
go on with it.
Come on out here, have a good time, watch the big game next Sunday at Laurel Park. Okay, let's show you the big the big Saturday in May, always the third Saturday in May, second jewel of the Triple Crown, the 142nd Preakness Stakes. It'll be Saturday, May 20th this year. You can buy your tickets now. Go to Preakness.com for all your tickets and information. Not too early. And in fact, I believe for all the people that have seats already, they're still, I think the window's still open where they're holding your tickets, so, but not for too much longer. All the seats sold out last year, so make sure you get your tickets early for the Preakness Stakes. Go to Preakness.com for all your information. Let's check out the carryovers for today. We'll have a little rolling super high five carryover in the first race, a little over 2,100 for that super high five in race 1. Big carryover of the day will be the Rainbow Pick 6, a little shy, a little over 9,800. We're almost to that 10,000 mark for the Pick 6. That'll start in race 4 today. Looking forward to that. No carryover in the Pick 5. They hit that for almost $1,000 yesterday, but always are both Pick 5s here with that low 12% takeout. No wind today. Looks like the sun's out. We're in the mid-40s. No wind. There's the track. We'll have a nice fast track today here at Laurel Park.
We'll get through today's card. I know maybe a little bit of snow they're saying later this evening into tomorrow morning, but we're going to be safe. Yeah, nice day out today. Winds died down a little bit. Temperature close to the mid-40s. Sun peeking through as we speak.
All right, good stuff. Well, let's get right to it here in the opener. Wide open. Claimers, Philly and Mares, 4 and up for race 1, claiming 15,000, going 5.5 furlongs. Rolling super high 5 carryover, $2,114 here in the opener. Also, race 1 kicks off the early Pick 5, which is a mandatory payout, industry low, 12% takeout. There's the carryover for that super high 5. Super 5 also with a low 15% takeout. So keep your eye on that in the first race. And let's take a look here at my early Pick 5 ticket with that mandatory payout. Affordable, very affordable $48 play for the early Pick 5. I'll go 4 deep in races 1 and 2, going 3 deep in race 4, and I'll key this early Pick 5 ticket. Race 4 is a nice allowance race. We had a few scratches, only a 4-horse field, but I'll go with the 5 Daily News as my key horse. Victor Carrasco aboard for Katie Voss. Still nice runners in that allowance contest. And then going 2 deep in race 5. So a $48 play, early pick 5, mandatory payout, starts in race 1. Let's take a look here, Keith. My top pick in here is going to be the 2, Little Miss Lupe from the leading trainer Claudio Gonzalez barn. Little Miss Lupe loves this 5.5 furlong distance. A 3-time winner here at Laurel Park, including her last race, which was in the mud. At this level, she closed from off the pace that day with an apprentice at 12-1. Got the money, gets the 7-pound apprentice Jomar Torres aboard today. Inside post, but doesn't bother me because I think this filly will take back and hopefully come wide with a late run.
She came 6 wide last time. A little anxious moments there late. It just took a little bit of a bobble, but the back didn't seem to bother her there on that muddy sealed surface. Closed determinedly to get up. She likes the distance. She likes this track, and she will have some speed to run at. Stan with the 6, Scoff to the outside as well as Secret 6. I think Hissy Fit will be into the mix, but it scares me a little bit. I'm going to take a shot with the 4, Chicolette. I liked her last time. I'm going to just toss the muddy sealed surface, try behind Little Miss Lupe and Lemon Lover. Much lower price that day. You might get a little bit better value on Chicolette at the 2-back try if for that Open 10 race at Parks will get it done. I like her to close in somewhere from mid-pack.
Yeah, Toledo with the win in the late double yesterday. And how about Jamie Ness? He's normally down at Tampa in the wintertime. He's been up here all weekend, so good to see Jamie Ness up here. I overlooked that runner a little bit here in the first race, but perhaps getting back on a fast track today can step her back up to her game.
That's my guess here. This is a tough race. Kind of reminds me of yesterday's opener, Stan, where pretty much almost everybody has a shot. You've got a horse like Scoff coming in for Nevin. She's usually dropping her horses when they come into Maryland. This one's going up on the raise. What to make of that? She's got a 70 back at Gulfstream. I know it was almost a year ago, but running back, she's improving every start of recent note, so she could be tough. She maybe doesn't even necessarily need to lead because I think Secret 6 is pretty quick off those 4.5s at Charlestown.
All right, nice open 15 claimer for Philly and Mares in race 1 to kick off that early pick 5. Race 2 kicks off the early pick 4. We're going a flat mile. Nice maiden special weight race here. 4 straight 3-year-olds. No super high 5 here in race 2 as we have a scratch on the 1 Greek Prince. We have a video spotlight here of the 3 Royal Hussar from the Hammy Smith barn.
Yeah, Royal Hussar reported gelding last time out, January the 13th, and we were wondering why they kept kind of protecting this horse. Form was pretty woeful leading in to this race, was freshened up from November to January 13th. But you're watching Royal Hussar kind of keys up against the favorite, of another horse in this race. But Royal Hussar makes a run, and a good run. On the 13th, up behind Hammer and Amarin. That was a Rodriguez horse, I believe, a 3-5 dropper. Royal Hussar to the outside in the pink silks, just does not give up, Stan, out there in the 3 path. Really, really determined, makes a couple runs. Thought he was going to maybe drop back, fade a little bit. April does not. Goes a little bit to the left lead late. That doesn't bother me so much. This horse really ran hard. I think he comes back. This step back up, a little protect move into the maiden special weight field. Suspect group. Cecilia Mike going to take a lot of play. The blinkers go on. I'm hoping he gets softened up a touch by the 5 Twin Valor. Royal Hussar maybe gets a little better set up today and wears them down. And you got to fear the 2 Linda Rice. She's just been deadly over the last couple of years with first-time starters coming into Laurel. 3 for 5 on the dirt at Laurel with first-time starters.
You mentioned that, it's not the toughest maiden special weight, kind of a soft group. So I went with the 2 first-time starters on top because you're right. The 6 Cecilia Mike will take a lot of money, but that horse kind of likes to be second a little bit. The Linda Albert horse looks nice, but question mark maybe stretching out to a mile. So on instinct alone, I went 2-7 here because I like the breeding on paper. However, when I went in for a closer look here, there's not too much there. The 2 asset allocation with the Linda Rice barn, she's very dangerous with first-time starters. However, the dam was 0 for 3. Second dam, there's nothing there. There's 2 older sibs. They never made it to the races. This is the first foal from 3 horses to make it to the races. The works are just okay. But she is 20% from a large sampling with a nice positive ROI with their debut runners, and you get Horacio Caramonos, and they're over 50% with a positive ROI from a 21 horse sampling. So strong connections. I'll take a shot here, but I'm a little shaky on my pick.
Exactly, like you see, you're trying, but still they have the faith enough to put this horse in maiden special weight the first time. She strategically places her horses, does a nice job. That ROI there, 5 for 5 in the money when coming here with first-time starters on the dirt. tough to not really put that horse in. It scored the other week, I think, last week with a first.
She's always dangerous shipping down here. The other first-time starter I throw in the exacta, the 7 Apollo Landing by top sire Malibu Moon. Quiet American on the dam side, a good broodmare sire, but the dam was over. It didn't run at all. This is her first foal. Some nice works up there at Belmont from the Mike Dilger barn. You get Alex Centron aboard. So just taking a shot with some horses that appear to have some nice breeding, but we'll see how they show up today in race 2. Let's turn the page here. Race 3, going 7 furlongs, maiden claiming 16,000 for 3-year-old Scratch the 2, which was your morning line favorite. The 2 Punch Nephew is out. So I'm going to go with the 5 on top here. Bean Boy from the Cal Lynch barn. Stevie Hamilton having a good weekend. He won a race on Friday and yesterday. This horse taking a big class drop here for Cal Lynch. 3-year-old by Flatter. Cutting back from the 1 mile distance to 7 furlongs here. He finds easier company. I'll take a shot here. Bean Boy might be one of your favorites with Punch Nephew being out.
Sure. Punch Nephew coming out. Bean Boy will get plenty of play. Also Scratch, part of the entry, Scratch the 1A. Strike the Table. Acton Tiz goes first time off the claim for Schoenthal. Could be interesting. Ran pretty well in the debut back in November. Been freshened up since late November. I'll take a flyer with the 3. Real Amazing for Rudy Rod. Tried the turf, an $80,000 purchase in for 25. Certainly scary. Didn't really run a step. A slight belated run on December the 3rd. But he's okay with this move. Turf to dirt. A little drop. To tell for me, he goes and gets Trevor.
Right.
You know, I'm hoping this is the right move, and Trevor can kind of get this horse up. But Lone Sibling was just 1 for 9 on the dirt. Not a whole lot to go on. Just kind of like the race prior, Stan. This is a tough little race to get through, in my opinion.
I throw the 6 in there. We both like the 6 a little bit. Story Spinner didn't break too well in debut, but still finished decently to get up for 3rd at a similar level up there at Penn National. They keep the same rider aboard. Tyler Connor coming down the ride today for Mark Savaggio.
Yeah, 30,000 purchase. They run first out for 15. Reported first time gelding. That was a late change for the 6. Story Spinner. But will he get a kind of enough pace up front? A decent run at Penn National. So yeah, this is a tough little race. English Tudor took a lot of play. The blinkers go on. Really didn't do a whole lot in debut. A slight little middle move. Turning back in distance should be some improvement. I think you got to spread pretty deep in race 3, unfortunately.
All right, well, let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, nice carryover. We're almost to that $10,000 mark in the Rainbow Pick 6. A little over 9,800 starts in race 4 today. We'll start with that when we come back.
The all-new Laurel Park is beyond your expectations. Feel the anticipation.
This long shot.
Witness the speed. Experience the thrill.
Welcome back today at the races here at Laurel Park, presented by Fidelity First. Nice carryover today in that Rainbow Pick 6. $9,820 starts in race 4 today for our 9-race program. Race 4 also kicks off the middle Pick 4, so we have 2 tickets coming up here for you. Let's start with the Pick 6 ticket for me, an affordable $57.60 play here for my Pick 6. I couldn't find a single. I have a single for the late Pick 5, but not for this Pick 6. I'll go 2 deep here in race 4 using the 1 Nicoredalic Rocks and the 5 Daily News, going 4 deep in the 5th, 3 deep there in race 6, and then races 7 and 8 just using 2 runners, going with 3 horses in the last race. Nice carryover in that Pick 6. It'll be around the $15,000 mark today when it's all said and done. Starts in race 4, which also kicks off the middle Pick 4. Keith has a ticket for you here for the Pick 4.
Yeah, pick 4. We're going to just go ahead and take all of them in race 4. I think it's kind of a scramble. I actually like the longest price in the race. Race 5 will go with the 1 and 5 Kitty Bank and our Karen Louise. Kitty Bank, a really kind of eye-catching performance last time. Steps up off the claim. I don't think it's a major step at all. Singling Literata for Rudy Rodriguez in race number 6. Gets a little class relief. 3 deep in race 7, 2, 6, and 8. Just a little $12 ticket to whet the appetite. It couldn't come up with anything super strong, Stan. So let's go ahead and just do this nice little small ticket, maybe get back a couple $100
These,
and then run it back up.
Ray, the race 4 could very well be a rider's race. Expect to see everybody get in trouble. 'Cause that's what happens in
In a four-horse field?
these kind of
Yeah.
fields. They just all get in trouble. I don't just it's something like that. But it'll be a rider's race for sure here in race 4. The racing office put together a real nice allowance race, and then you had Saray, Linda Rice, and Donnie Barr. With other ideas, I guess, here, but they all scratched. So scratched the 4, 6, and the 7 from race 4. Let's take a look at my top pick here, the 5, Daily News from the Katie Volsbarn. This horse 7 for 11 in the money with 3 wins here at Laurel. Victor Carrasco aboard, a decent third last time out. Was a little wide that day. This horse I think will be forwardly placed. Carrasco with the outside draw here now with all the scratches. I think Carrasco will be going right to the front maybe with Daily News.
Daily News, I think Worley is fresh, though, too. He's shown some speed off of a layoff, pretty quick internal fractions. Daily News might get a little bit of a target, something he also likes. You were speaking highly of Tom Reynolds, and look who shows up at the set. How about that? His ears were burning, Stan.
Brought us some fresh produce or something.
Let's hope so. We're going to get a turkey going up in the press box. But no, this tough little race, I think it's the journey for Trombetta. I like the turn back. Trombe going to sneak in here a little bit of a price. Daily News, Worley maybe hook up. It's the journey turning back off of that mile and 16th race. Was a little keen. The blinkers come back off. This horse has an okay sprint. Way back, we're going as a 2-year-old, but it's good enough. And he holds the level. Short field, long price. Marty McGee always used to tell me that angle.
Yep,
Well, let's take
yep.
the shot with the 3. It's the journey.
And Pimentel with 2 wins yesterday, so he's having a big weekend. So I respect that runner. I use that one third. We both like the one, Nicoredalic Rock's been the beaten favorite the last 2 times. You get Toledo aboard today for Kieran McGee.
Yeah.
This horse will be in the mix somewhere for sure.
Did not have a real comfortable trip on the sloppy sealed surface last time out. Lanier runs second. We saw him come back and gallop. Nicoredalic Rocks, he'll be a couple lengths off of it. And I think he'll just let Worley go just to his outside, sneak up behind rivals and just try to make a move from there. He's going to be tough.
All right, let's turn the page here. Race 5 kicks off the late pick 5 here with that industry low 12% takeout for the late pick 5. It was a nice carryover yesterday. They hit it for about $1,000. No carryover today, but always more money back to you, the better with that low 12% takeout. Let's take a look here at my ticket. Very affordable, $36 play. I'll go 4 deep here in the 5th with the 1, 5, 6, 7, using 3 runners in race 6. And I'll key on the Linda Rice horse. This one actually made the van here. Deal Driven didn't get left up there in New York today. This colt coming down here. Nice win last November. Gets Caramonos aboard today. So I'll key on the 2, Deal Driven in race 7. And then using 2 horses in our nice, we have 2 very nice upper level allowance races 6 and 8 today. I'll use 2 horses there in race 8, going with 3 runners in the finale. Late pick 5 starting right here in race 5. Let's take a look here. Race 5, a nice starter allowance optional claiming $16,000 going a mile and a 16th. And trainer Bernie Houghton, he knows how to read the condition book, finds an absolute dream spot here for this 4-year-old daughter of Include. How about Bernie Houghton with 67 winners last year? From the Laurel Park Racing Office to winning 67 races last year. He's really doing well right now, has that nice Philly crab cakes. And our Karen Louise has won her last 2, and she is just in a beautiful spot today to make it 3 in a row.
Yeah, she is just getting better and better and better with each race. Has really kind of turned it on last time out. Just settled a nice big move in a surge to draw off by 7. We'll get, I think, a little bit of pace to run at. The blinkers go on. Nancy's gone wild, the 4. And I think Kitty Bank will be forwardly placed. Maybe Kitty Bank gets the first run. Just a little bit where Kitty Bank, real sharp last time. And okay, try 3 back at a mile and 16 behind Balmer Hunt, who came back to run a big figure. Kitty Bank, I think, is the horse to beat. But our Karen Louise, I think, is just going to get that ideal setup, and have a little bit more late punch. I like that, she's had that 2 mile and a 70 races stand. She wants to keep going and going from a barn that's really doing well over the last couple of years.
Right.
He's winning at a high rate.
Cole Jack Harmon, 5-1 for Keith and I there in race 5 to kick off the late pick 5. Let's turn the page here. Race 6 kicks off the late pick 4. And for all you premier players out there, you hit the late pick 4 today, and you'll get an extra 2,000 bonus points in your account. If you're not a premier player, we'll go on down there to customer service and make sure you sign up for the Premier player. Always a bunch of good incentives and bonuses for you if you're a Premier player. So race 6 is one of 2 very nice upper-level allowance features of the day. This one for filly and mares 4 and up, 2 other than allowance, optional claiming $32,000, going a flat mile, and the heavy favorites is 7 Literata, 7-5 from the Rudy Rod barn. He gets Trevor McCarthy aboard. I'm going to try to beat that runner with Lady Terp. Let's take a look here. Lady Terp from late November here at Laurel Park. She came with a 3-wide move around the far turn. She's in front turn of her home and just finishes with authority here with Malcolm Franklin aboard. Malcolm Franklin back aboard today for trainer Timmy Keefe, the 6-year-old mare. Is, let's see, 13 for 22 in the money here at Laurel Park with 4 wins. Since July of 2015, she's only been off the board 3 times, including her last start. After this win, she came back on New Year's Day, and maybe she had a little hangover from New Year's Eve. Who knows? But she's bounced back from subpar efforts like that before. She's been very consistent. I'll go with the 8, Lady Terp, at 8-1 with Franklin aboard for Timmy Keefe.
Yeah, it regressed a little bit last time. She's going to be forwardly placed in here. She'll make a move into the pace. She kind of threw the knockout punch 2 back. I think she just hooks a little bit better horses today. I think she's going to flatten just a little bit late. Literata gets the class relief she needs. A 6-time winner coming out of the Bay Ridge, the Empire Distaff. Some tough races up in New York. 3 back though. That's the race that kind of caught my eye. Just off the pace, it surged and went clear late. Tail for Ruby, 2nd place finisher, came back to win the Safely Kept Stakes at 7 furlongs at Laurel Park. I think Literata just kind of sits, a couple lengths off the lead, grinds them down head of the stretch with Trevor. Understanding, I think, is going to maybe finally get a little bit more flow up front to her liking. She's a sustainable type of late run with Stevie Hamilton, a rider that's doing well. I like to turn back to the mile distance for Understanding.
Yeah, it's one of 2 runners that Tim Keefe has in the race, and Understanding, a 2-time winner here at Laurel. It's a tough race. Obviously, they all have to go through Literata.
Sure.
Your heavy favorite for Strong Connections. That horse shipping down from New York. The 5, we both like the 5 a little bit. Ritzy Lass has won 2 in a row for a barn that wins a lot of races. 24% last year. 135 winners from the Tim Kreiser barn. Clinton Potts coming down to ride this 5-year-old mare, looking for her 3rd win in a row.
He's got her going very, very well. He's come down and done okay in Maryland over the last couple years. Ritzy Lass, it looks like the road is kind of going to go through her. I think she has the natural speed early. Maybe next best thing will be Close. Shinkinson, I don't think she has that early punch. She's going to try to make the transition from 6 furlongs. I'm sorry, Bohem Delavi doesn't really have that early punch, but she's going to try to go from 6 to a mile. Could be a little bit tougher move for the one, especially down inside. But Ritzy Lass, she's game on the lead. She can kind of handle pressure. And Tim Kreiser, she ran a 75 last time. That was her lifetime best. He is 27% when horses do that, run their best buyer last out.
Very nice upper level allowance co-feature of the day there in race 6 to kick off that late pick 4. Let's look at race 7, straight 3-year-olds, open claiming $25,000, going a flat mile, and I'll make the 2 Deal Driven my best bet of the day here from the Linda Rice barn. Horacio Caramanos is aboard. They're 52% from a 21-horse sampling with an ROI of over $4. That's pretty strong. Deal Driven's last race was against Maiden 40, going a mile at Aqueduct back in November. We haven't seen her since then. Linda Rice, with horses coming off this kind of layoff from a 74-horse sampling, 31% with a positive ROI. The horse Deal Driven beat in that race. Leftovers would come back and win a maiden 40 up there with a 63 buyer. Was claimed out of that race. So lots to like here with the 2 Deal Driven. I'll take 5-2 as my best bet all day long.
I'm going to be thinking some people might be checking this horse out.
Sure,
He's
buy
been freshened up.
Yep.
Yeah, from November the 18th. That last race solid enough, but what scares me is the final quarter mile. They kind of walked it home, slugged it home. But this horse appeared to be the lesser part of the entry too. Had another one in there, was going to take more money. It looked like if it was a Deal Driven, a good enough try. I'm just worried of that lengthy layoff. I know she does well. This 1 mile is a tough distance. I think Parade of Nations, I like the way he's kind of finished up his final quarter miles, a little bit stronger than the rest of this field. Sits at the level of 25,000. Last time out, didn't quite get the setup. Will be a little bit closer, I think, when they turn for home, and I think he's got that just best finishing punch in this field.
Yeah, I like him. I pick him second homebred here for John Williamson the 3rd. Only one of 2 horses in the race that have won 2 races here early on in the 3-year-old career. So Cal Nation doing well at stud here in Maryland. You get Fergal Lynch, had a 2-bagger yesterday. So I like the 8 Parade of Nations. I'll use that runner in the exact. Let's turn the page here. Race 8 kicks off the late daily double. Very nice upper level, 2 other than allowance feature of the day, going a mile in a 16th here. My price play of the day. Let's take a look at Ghost Bay. Very strong win here January 8th at Laurel Park. Came with a 5-wide move around the far turn. There he is out there on the far outside going by that gray horse. Ghost Bay gets in front and just keeps on growing. Crushes this nice allowance field by almost 5 lengths. On Mr. Blue down there on the inside gets up for a good second. On Mr. Blue ran a very good second yesterday. Second to Lanier, who was just a loose lone lead winner yesterday. So I think this is a very strong win for Ghost Bay. Now going in the right direction here for trainer Robbie Bales. Caramanos is aboard today. We'll get a nice 8-to-1 price. And why? Because, well, they all have to beat Golden Glen, who's just a monster from the Mary Epler barn. 7-time winner here at Laurel Park. Golden Glen in for the condition. He's won, I'm sorry, in for the tag, because he's won this condition multiple times. So they all have to beat Golden Glen today.
Yeah, he's got to get position, though. The mile and 16th, he breaks from the outside post, the 8 post here. Could be a tougher trip than what he had last time, but visually looked good, man. Really came home strong the final eighth of a mile, quarter of a mile last time at January 13th, and they can kind of get these races to run together. Mary with these route horses has had a really good percentage when they win going long and coming back and win. Ghost Bay, yeah, the question for me is 2 turns. He got back to the 1 turn last time. It really, was to his liking. Will he have enough flow up front? I'm not sure. Take a flyer. I'm taking Cerebral as a bomb in here. There's not a lot of speed. Unless Patriotic and Proud carries that speed from the synthetics over the dirt, I think Cerebral might be left alone. Sources bounce back up off of weak efforts in the past, and 2 back, a Fleet Willie kind of ran him into the ground, but Scorched Golden Glen, there were only a few lengths in front of him, and he took all the dirty work. Cerebral, maybe, hopefully the track holds speed a little bit better, can get out and dictate it a big, big price.
Yeah, his last win came at a big price, 14-to-1 last October. I'm sorry, about 14 months ago here at Laurel Park. Gary Capuano, always dangerous. You get a top rider, Victor Carrasco. Nice allowance co-feature of the day there in race 8. Let's turn the page here. We're almost out of time, but race 9 will conclude things today, claiming 5,000. Never won 2 lifetime, going a flat mile. And I'm going to go with Leroy Brown's in town for Jose Corrales. Carlos Quinones aboard, dropping from the 10 life, the 10 2-life condition last out, where didn't go too well that day. Was wide, only beaten 4 lengths, dropping down to the nickel here. We get the journeyman rider aboard here for Corrales. Sprint to route, Corrales 22% from a decent sized sampling. So looks like we both like the 8-6 cold here.
Third back off of a layoff. We'll have a target, Cold Spice, who did beat Leroy Brown a couple starts back in that 10 hut race. Cold Spice is the pace. I think he's the speed. He comes out of some quicker races, but Leroy Brown has said he's third race off of a layoff, stretches back out to a mile. I think this is going to work. Corral is another good positive here. 5 for 13 on a 50% drop or more, 38% rate there. $4.36 ROI. I think you'll get a little bit better value on Leroy Brown. Cold Spice, he's the one to beat, no doubt.
Dropping as well for a sharp barn, Lacey Gaudette, Kevin Gomez aboard. Drive at night with Lynch aboard for Dilla DeVico. I think this horse will love to stretch out to a mile distance today.
Yeah, you've seen it done. Him go from 5.5 to 7. He's run some of his better races with that angle. Can he get that extra furlong is going to be the key for me. I think he might need a little bit more pace help up front, but he's run okay, 5.5 to 7. He could get the mile. Mr. Coupons, I think, with Trevor aboard, an improved effort in order for him. He was kind of used early between horses, really didn't get comfortable, was flat. He's okay turning back here. I don't know if he's quite as good as the top 2, though.
All right, the sun is out. Brunch is getting ready for you up there in the Garden Terrace. We're about out of time. Dave Robbins going to come up with all of today's scratches and changes. 2 nice carryovers. The first one starting in the first race, Super High 5, a little over 2,100. Almost 10,000 in that Rainbow Pick 6 carryover. That starts in race 4. Me and Kimber Goodwin will be on with you this afternoon. Best of luck here at Laurel today.
Good luck.